Mental Training 101. And now back to Get Warrior Tough with Andrew and Dutch.
All right, we're back at it. I think this is the final segment already. Holy smoke, where's the time go? I don't know. Right? Went the same place as Dutch's bag of pretzels. It's gone. Oh, what?
We can knock these 3 out. I'm confident we can knock these last 3 out.
We got plenty of time. Listen, well, there's always another show. There's always another week. I love it.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm not in a hurry. And you know what? This is another. Add this to number 11, right? Not in a hurry. Never in a hurry. I'm really not. Right? Yeah, and you got to be in. I'll say it this way. If you're always rushing past everything that's going on right now, how could you possibly be enjoying or appreciate anything that's around you right now? So don't be in a hurry. Yeah, don't be in a hurry. Don't be in a hurry.
Yep.
Just slow it down. We got tons of time. Yeah, relax. RELAX. We got all the time in the world. Was that song? We got all the time in the world, right?
I'm not familiar with that song.
Oh, you know, I think it was a James Bond. It was like a James Bond. I think it was like a Roger Moore James Bond.
Oh, the Roger Moore. I love the Roger Moore James Bond, but that was before I was born.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Yeah. I caught you on something this week. You and I were having a football discussion, and I caught you because you were talking about like Lynn Swann and Franco Harris, like you were there, and I was like, "Aha!"
Yeah, I was a baby. I heard the story.
I heard the
I was looking at the microfiche.
No, you were talking like you were there, man. I was like, "Yeah, I got you. You're old." All right, so no. Number 8 is they live outside happily. Long-term, enduring, happy, successful, fulfilled people live outside the box. They live outside their little box. And I'll say their little box, but everybody else, they don't let people put them in a box. I'll put it that way. Mm-hmm. You put me in a box, I'm going to jump out.
Sometimes that comfort zone or that comfortable place can be the most dangerous place because a lot of times if you think about it, when you're at your most comfortable place, you're paying the least amount of attention to what's going on around you, right?
That's true.
So many things can get by you when you're sitting there comfortable. But when you're living outside the box and you're doing things that are different and you're daring to be different and all that, all your senses are up. Nothing's getting by you because you're paying attention. You're extremely focused. You're not missing anything.
Listen, that reminds me of a story, right? That reminds me, I had a surf partner in Hawaii, and we were young, like in our 20s, and he was crazy. And he would, like, when he was speeding, he would, like, act crazy, like he would call it Ramboing it, because he would be drag racing or whatever. He never got caught. He said every time they ever got busted by the cops for speeding was when he was comfortable in his sense. He wasn't focused, and he wasn't looking around, and he got comfortable. Next thing you know, he was doing, like, 75 in the 55, but when he was drag racing, he never got caught because he was, like, focused.
Right, that's a great example.
Looking around, spidey senses were going off. If there was a cop anywhere, he knew he was on the brakes. He was focused. So you're right, man. The comfort zone, it's like that. What's the frog in the frog with the slow boil? You put a frog in a cold pot of water or whatever, and he don't jump out, and you just slowly raise the temperature, and he's comfortable the whole time until it hits boiling, and it was incremental, and he's comfortable the whole time, and he gets cooked.
Mm-hmm. That's another great example. So don't be afraid to live outside the box. Go do it. Get out of that comfort zone and don't be afraid to have your beliefs challenged. It's just going to make you vet them. It's going to make you believe in them even more or get rid of them, right? One or two things is going to happen. You're going to believe in them more because they've been challenged. You've done your homework. You vetted them. So you're going to believe in them more or you're going to get rid of them, right? You're going to change them. You're going to adopt the new beliefs, right?
You would, and that's how the process works. But so many people, they will fight tooth and nail to stay in the boiling pot of water, the water that's about to be boiled. They'll still fight to stay in there, because they don't want to know they don't know what's outside the pot. So I don't even want to take the chance of getting it, and it's just, it's not good, man. It's not good. And what cracks me up is this thing that you're fighting to keep, this status quo that you're fighting to keep right now, to keep from changing. Like, whatever the change is, in like 2 years, you'll be fighting for that new change. Like, okay, so I knew somebody, like, they didn't want to give up this new, the the computer system that they had, because this client of ours was getting a new software system. They didn't want to change and upgrade to the new system. So they're throwing fits that they have to learn the new system. I mean, it was like pulling teeth, Dutch. And I said, you know what, you guys, the thing that you're fighting right now, within 2 years, and they want to upgrade again, you'll be fighting for this new one like you're fighting for the old one.
Yeah. Absolutely right. And that's not just you. That's the history of man. I mean, that's so much documented history with that.
Yeah.
It's just so many different examples you could use. But that's who we are. That's how the machine works, as we say. So you can't even deny that.
No. So I mean, it's just science. It's just science, Dutch. Listen, man. The Earth isn't flat. If you want to believe it is, more power to you. But it's not. Okay.
That goes into number 9.
Oh, tell me what number 9 is, Dutch. What is it?
Keep an open mind. People that are happy, people that have figured out how to do this, be successful and happy, they keep an open mind.
And this right here. I mean, we could again do a whole nother show on this, because if you look on social media today, I just can't. People only want to expose themselves to the people that agree with them or say the same stuff that they're saying, and they hate on. I mean, literally hate on anybody that has any kind of opinion or belief or perspective that's different than theirs. And this, I don't matter where you are on the spectrum of anything. This is how the human machine works, and you're unhappy, you're miserable. But
and you gotta say that, because people think you're attacking them. Now, wherever you stand right now, you do. The majority of us do that, and wherever the other person stands, the majority of them do that. So this isn't about you. This is about the machine, how it works. You know, people will fight tooth and nail with things that they already believe in, and as Andrew said, they won't even take them a moment to explore the other perspective because they're so dug in on what they believe in. This is everybody. This isn't about you. This is how the machine works. But you can control the machine. You can reprogram the machine. You can make yourself be one of the few, one of the elite that keeps an open mind.
Right. And I don't even know if I should share this story on the air, but I'm going to. I might have in the past. I don't know. But this is kind of how I operate. When I was on, I was the lead agent for Senator Joe Lieberman at the time. And my partner, who was the agent in charge, he was one of the best partners I ever had. But Joe Lieberman is an Orthodox Jew. So we would walk to synagogue on Saturdays. On Sabbath, we would walk from his house over to the synagogue. It was a 3-mile walk. So one of us would walk and the other would trail in the limo, so we could throw him in if something throw him in the limo and get out of there if something happened. We walked, and then we walked back, and I had a great time, because my PhD's in theology, so I would talk Old Testament and Hebrew with these guys, the rabbinical students, and it was a great time, and I learned so much stuff about Judaism and the Old Covenant, all that stuff. Right? Then we walk back to his house, and we put him in, and he'd be in his house for dinner, whatever. We post up the uniforms, and I would literally take my partner. I would literally walk across the street, Dutch, to a friend of ours, whose name I'm not going to say his name, but his first name was Muhammad, right? Who was he was a Palestinian, part of the PLO back in the day, and he was like a backdoor channel for the State Department, now going into the Palestinian authority, the PLA, Sunni Muslim. So I literally across the street, they were like, Andrew, you're here. It's so awesome to see you. And we come in, and I was learning Arabic with them, and they teach me Arabic. And, we talked about the Quran, and I would learn from them, and they would feed us such good food. And I love I love Arabic food. I mean, I love Arabic food. And my partner's like, look at me, he's like, dude, so you're the son of Christian missionaries. You go to the, with the Orthodox Jewish guys, you're with the rabbinical students. They treat you like family. You come across the street to the Sunni Muslims. They treat you like, you're like the United Nations, right? And so this is nothing. This is having an open mind and exposing myself, because my beliefs were vetted. I wasn't afraid of learning their beliefs. In fact, because I knew my beliefs were I knew what my beliefs were, and I vetted them, that I am not afraid to go be around people that disagree with me. And in fact, one of the things that when you and I partnered up, Dutch, what did I say that you had to do to me in the course of our partnership was what?
Disagree.
Yeah, we have to disagree with me. You cannot just agree with everything that I say. And we do it respectfully. And we've had a couple, times where we've been never mad at each other, but heated. but always respect each other and love each other at the end. And this is what we're talking about. Happy, successful people expose ourselves to a variety of beliefs and opinions and perspectives and points of view that helps us understand where someone else is coming from.
And I mean, and there's such great value and joy in that. And another thing that you did in that story was you went against the current, because a lot of people would have feared that they would have stayed away from that. They wouldn't have. So it was even more about open mind. It was about living outside the box.
Yeah,
because that's not something
I'm
everyone
checking
was
a lot
doing.
of those boxes with that story.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. You went against the current. I mean, so there's different things that there was great value in that. There was great value in doing those things. So I love it, man. It wasn't even so. Keeping an open mind leads you to other things that we're talking about, how all these 10 things work together. And I know we're coming up on the end of the show, but my favorite one is number 10.
All right, share with us what that is, man. Because you talk about this, but you do this. I'll say this. You do this better than anybody that I know on planet Earth, Dutch. What is it?
Yeah, and I love it. They don't let anyone limit their joy. We talked about building that fortress of happiness around you, that wall of happiness around you, and all those things, and they don't let anyone penetrate it. Now, that doesn't mean that bad things don't happen. That don't mean you don't disagree with people. That don't mean that there isn't some bouts of unhappiness. But you're not going to limit my joy. And even in the worst situations, I'm going to be able to look internally and look at the systems that I've built around me, the people that I put in my life, and I'm not gonna gain any joy or happiness based on. And this is another thing we touched on in our call earlier today. We're not gonna let our happiness or joy be to someone else's standard, right?
Right. It doesn't matter what they definition. Think. Yeah. Right. Exactly.
You can't define it. I can't define Andrew's happiness. No, you define your happiness and you go from there. So I can't take anything from you. I can't knock you down. I can't do any of those things because it doesn't come from anything that I've built. It came from the system that you've built. And so not letting someone limit your joy, man, I love that, man. I've been through so much in my life. And those things, my experiences, and we've all been there. We've all had trials and tribulations. So our trials and tribulations should be that's the things that hold those bricks together, right? When you're talking about building a wall, the things that are impenetrable, the trials and tribulations that you've been through that won't let anyone knock you down.
Right.
Limit your joy.
Yeah, no, it's so good. And like I said, you do this better than anyone I know. And especially when you said you don't let any system in place rob you of your joy. Like when you don't have heat in the basement, you just turn the heat on and you don't let it rob you of your joy. Even though, you let me stay down there without any heat in the basement, and it might have robbed me of my joy. But I took great joy in seeing you in your little footy stockings eating Klondike bars with heat. No, but I mean, and I'll say that, I mean, you've had stuff where the heat goes out, in your house, and I still call you, and you're still like, no matter what the problem, it's like chaos is going on. I'd be like, I'd be kicking walls right now, and you're just like, yeah, we're just rolling with, we're taking care of it, we're getting it done, we got. We got the oven open and we're all sitting around the oven, and you're up there where it's like a tundra and the heat goes out. I mean, so, no, seriously, I've seen you where normal people would have their joy robbed, and not so with you. And I call you at various times and you don't even know when I'll just pop in and just say, and I've never, ever witnessed Dutch Coleman with his joy being robbed. Ever. No,
I tell you, and I know we're beyond the end of the show, man. But this is a good reason to go beyond. But yeah, man, and I recommend everyone do that, man. Don't let anyone limit your joy, steal your joy, penetrate that wall of happiness that you've built. Because we've all been there. We've all had something, some sort of trial or tribulation in our life that we can draw from. Don't let anyone limit your joy.